I first heard about Breaking Bad when it came out back in 2008. And like many people, I thought Bryan Cranston, Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, I didn't think he could sell it, but boy was I wrong. And so were the execs at AMC who thought the same thing. But then Vince Gilligan, creator of Breaking Bad, showed them this.
What's up?
I'll tell you what's up. I'm a Jew.
But he also showed them this.
Drive.
This is Drive, Season 6, Episode 2 of The X-Files. Cranston plays Patrick Crump, a country bumpkin that has something in his ear that will explode if he doesn't go really fast. I highly recommend you check it out. Cranston is fantastic in it, and we get to hear those Walter White cries and frustrations. There's even a part where he tells Mulder to call him Mr. Crumb. He said the thing. Vince Gilligan wrote this episode of The X-Files, so he knew what a badass Cranston can be. Drive helped seal the deal with AMC, and Aaron Paul and Dean Norris were also in other X-Files episodes. The other actors eyed for the role of Walter White were Matthew Broderick and John Cusack. I'm thankful we're not on that timeline. Eventually, Breaking Bad's popularity exploded, mostly thanks to Netflix. It was pretty much the first binge-worthy show, which was perfect because it's such a chaotic and unpredictable story that viewers felt compelled to let the next episode play. The anticipation building was genius. There was a caveat. The seasons on Netflix were a year behind, so if you wanted to stay current, you had to watch it weekly on cable when it aired. There was something ritualistic about making sure you caught the latest episode that week, knowing you were watching with millions of others. Being drip-fed those episodes instead of binging them was actually kind of better because I learned to appreciate the show more. By the time Breaking Bad ended, TiVo and recording episodes was basically dead. For those that don't know, a TiVo was a DVR, a digital video recorder. It allowed you to record episodes of a TV show to watch later. They're still around in some capacity as a streaming device, but the days of DVRs are long gone. Breaking Bad existed in a time before doom scrolling or 9-hour screen time, so most people were actually watching the show. I read an article that now execs want shows to be optimized for second screen viewing, as in they want the show to be friendly for people who are on their phone scrolling while watching it, and having dialogue where events are repeated so these distracted viewers know what's going on. We're so cooked. Look, Breaking Bad is one of those shows you show respect for. Put the phone away. This was also the death of water cooler discussion around TV shows as they were airing. With cable, everyone watched the same episode that came out that week, so there was plenty of discussion to be had. But now with streaming culture, you kind of had to ask what episode they were on before you spoiled anything. I don't know if you've ever been on Twitter during or after a series finale was airing, but it was nuts. My timeline was pretty much all Breaking Bad once the final episode was over. Social media was another great push for the show because you could see even more people talking about it. In the past, you would ask your friends or look at what the critics were saying, but now there were people online building followings on their critiques of certain shows. Breaking Bad felt like the last gasp of cable as we knew it. It was a cultural event that virtually everyone felt a part of. AMC was the underdog back then, and their identity came from these heavy hitter shows like Mad Men, Breaking Bad, and The Walking Dead. Once Mad Men and Breaking Bad were over, that identity faded. Modern shows don't really have that, oh, this is from this network feel anymore. And Breaking Bad was probably the last show people would buy on DVD box sets. By then, Netflix had most of the episodes, so people didn't see the point in buying DVDs. One thing I've just now noticed while writing this script is airtime back then was finite. You could only have so many shows airing at once, but with streaming, everyone could watch different shows at different pacings. You've probably heard your parents say that when they were a kid there was only 2 channels. Well, now there's infinite channels. Walter White solidified anti-heroes as being a TV archetype. The dude was a total monster. A lot of people at the time bought into Walter's whole, I'm doing it for my family thing. But now I think everyone who watches the show today knows that it was all bull, and the guy just wanted a blank check to be a psychopath. For me and many others, Tony Soprano is TV's first true anti-hero that would then lead to roles such as Dexter Morgan, Don Draper, and Walter White. But Breaking Bad takes the cake. One day I was thinking about all the evil things Walt did. The dude was literally an evil scientist and was strapping bombs to people and poisoning kids. Cranston did a fantastic job at humanizing a monster. Even though Walt makes terrible decisions, you always felt bad when it blew up in his face. Breaking Bad is a Sopranos scenario for me, where the first season feels so innocent in comparison to the last one. As the plot gets darker and darker, we accrue more baggage, and the last season just becomes depressing. Almost everything about Breaking Bad is perfect. The story, the characters, the actors. We probably will never see a masterpiece like this again, with such a cultural impact. I have videos planned for Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, The Sopranos, and other great TV shows, so if that interests you, like the video and subscribe for more.